so let's start with the characters we have. We have Sonic the Hedgehog. He's blue and he's fast. He's faster than his friends, though they're pretty fast himself. He and a couple of those, Mighty the Armadillo and Ray the Flying Squirrel. I've got them up on screen for you so you can see them. They got captured by Eggman once. And they escaped. But where we start with Sonic 1, on their island they've been living on, of South Island that is moving through the sea, is Eggman decides to take over. He sicks his robots. If this will show up. Hello? There you are. What was I saying? Sends his robots that are full of Sonic's little friends, the Flickies, the Pickies, the Cluckies, little animals that power his machines, as he searches for the 6 Chaos Emeralds found on this island, causing its movement. Not going to be any chat on the screen for this. I can still see the chat. Got a timer. Turn this on. Let's get into this the best we can. 3, 2, 1. Start in the morning at Green Hill Zone. See, I've got Spin Dash now. It is a delight for this game. Got the Drop Dash. We've got the Insta Shield. Messed that up. Eep. That's the cool thing about this version, it just adds all of the later abilities. The Drop Dash wasn't in the first. The mobile, the original version. That was added to this compilation specifically. Oop. Got the peel out. Okay. That's about as good as I can expect it to go on stream and while recording. I made the smoothest 21-second run the other day. Have to remember to get those. Speed up the score. Nice. Need to do that. That's fine. Messy, but, you know, what are you gonna do? We haven't hit any of the blocks I've been having lately, but we are about to next stage. First stage that I skipped last time. About midday, we get to Marble Zone. Instantly botching it. Fantastic. I'm okay. This isn't even the hard one, like, I generally have one down. I should note that my routing here Hey, plant! My rooting here is completely self-inflicted. I don't know if these are optimal. I'm just using my Sonic instincts. Perfect. Oh. Okay. Hey, Deneb. You're just in time for the hard part of the speed run. The first of the hard parts. There's at least 3. Love when that happens. Love when that happens. I forgot, I should peel out here. Oop. There we go. I don't think that's actually faster, but okay. Fine, it's fine. I usually go in the lava there. I don't know how to... It's a global cycle, you know? If you mess up a global... Oh, boy, okay. Here's our first big time loss. 'Cause I didn't get checkpoint. But that was a lot smoother that time, so it's whatever. At the very least, I'm trying to do this in under... Ooh, got it. Okay, drop dash didn't happen. Fine, you're going great pace. Great recovery. Insta shield didn't happen, that's fine. Not fine there? Okay. Okay. I did not, when I decided to do this run, I did not expect Marble Zone to be the thing that messes me up. Oh gosh. Here's the thing about having one ring all the time, though. If I were to do Labyrinth Zone Act 3 completely perfectly, it would be with no rings. But that is absolute nonsense, so I do have to take safety when that happens. When I get there. Because the best path just has no rings on it. Or, at the very least, you skip the ones that are nearby. Okay. Okay. Need the insta shield. So I can't get a shield. Perfect. That kids is called a damage boost. Did that wrong. It's fine. Okay, that's not fine. I had that block in by at least 20 seconds, or it was bad. Probably a faster way to do this, but I don't know it. Monster Hunter Rise speedruns would be interesting. I bet a large amount of that is just preparing as fast as you can. Just go mode. Okay, I hesitated. For the worst reason. Hope the spikes are kind. Okay. They were kinda, but... Oh! Insta-shield in this game is indispensable, which is ironic, because it is... You don't get it until Sonic 3. We've wasted enough time as it is. Okay, good. Good! Good. Mess that up. You're doing Eggman with no rings. That is bad. That is game over. Okay, the run is dead. Oh well. Let me organize something real quick. But I'll still finish the game itself for y'all. I guess I can, like, explain it more now. I'm not even gonna bother with that boss. You know what happens when you fight a boss, you win. So... I mean, there's not... I've said everything I need to say about Sonic 1. It is a bare-bones game, effectively speaking. Sonic's friends have been captured and put into robots. Eggman wants to take over the island, using his robots. They're powered by those animals. He wants to get the Chaos Emeralds so he can take over the world. Sonic has to get all the Chaos Emeralds. Oop. See, I'm just like... completely. I could probably, just utilize the, absolute backgrounds, why not? There we go. Right, anyway, Spring Yard Zone. This is the... We're in the evening. The sun is setting. And... what's the other important factor? There's a city. Remember guys, I love pointing out how there's cities in Sonic. Honestly, like, as much as this game is still Sonic 1, no matter how you slice it, if I'm gonna recommend a version to play, it is probably this one, unless you want to buy Origins when it comes out. When I was characterizing earlier, holy crap! It is the smoothest I've ever done that part, and it was completely by accident. I have never done that without getting damaged or killed because I didn't get the ring box. Damn. And on the dead run, too? Oh, well that's the night we're having. I mean, the problem with that beginning area is that it's cycle-based, so I have to wait the same amount of time even if I do it that smooth, but, like, it felt fantastic. Like, you can tell, we've seen a lot more of Eggman's later bosses. These are so basic. And they also are very, he cheats. And here's the level that I've complained about my entire life. Messed that up entirely. Because I tell you, it is a labyrinth. It is aptly named. It is underwater. Sonic can't swim, he hates water. We've been over this. And the physics really match that. The water hates him in this. Don't be embarrassed. They don't know you can do this way better. It's so slow. There are death traps. These goddamn spikes here, which were in Mania, and I was upset about them specifically. I mean, to be fair, drowning is stressful. It's very accurate music. And this is a stressful level, so... The music's good. I mean, that's been my position on everything Sonic so far, is at least the music's good. Oh no. Slipped. That's fine. Two of the key things that this remastered version does is it removes the speed cap that was on 1. It was much lower than in 3. And also it just, for some reason, it allows Sonic to stick to surfaces in a way that he's, like, intended to. I don't know what they did to fix that. And that will show up in Starlight Zone, particularly. Really? Huh. Oh no. I would take the invincibility there, even if it was the speed run, because it's just that much faster to not get hurt than it is to skip it and try to not get hurt. Also, usually I make it to here without a bubble, if I'm, like, doing it. Shadow of the Colossus is such an atmosphere. Shadow of the Hedgehog is also such an atmosphere. Nah, but like Shadow of the Colossus, they did that before Skyrim, before Breath of the Wild. Just big open area to explore. Good stuff. That was my safety ring box. Oh, I should have drop dashed there. Slug your way over to this center. You miss the robot that bounces you to the position. Yep. Got it. Make sure those bubbles start. Since it doesn't matter, I can get this. Eggman's over here. The Eggman boss for this, it is dreadful. It is... You just chase him up a bunch of spike traps while the water's rising, and I keep making the wrong jumps here. But the trick I realized trying to speedrun it is that you're not going after him. He's blocking your way. He's making you bounce back into the traps, so you can fall down this column specifically and die. I'm just gonna take this. I would love to see a Shadow remake. Would I? I don't know if I would, actually. Maybe I just want another game where I can play as Shadow that doesn't suck. You could play as him in Forces, and he played exactly like Sonic. No! Okay. Okay, good. For a second I thought I had infinite lives on again. I would love to game over on this so I can skip it. I just can't be careful with it anymore. I've gotten into the speedrun mindset and... Wait. I can do that. Oh, neat! Huh, okay. I didn't know the water stopped there. Well, the problem with the safety shield is it does get rid of my insta-shield. Okay, sure. The hitbox on these things are enormous, by the way. It's much better in Mania, but... Yeesh. Or, I think it's sheesh the kids say these days. No! No! That was the end! Alright, well, I beat it. I just had to go fight the box. Whatever. We're doing the best stage in this damn game. So we come out of the underground, and it's the middle of the night. The beautiful night with beautiful music. Seconds without even trying. I mean, the kids are always going cranky in G Willikers if they're cool. You don't see a lot of cool kids these days. Yeah, thing about Labyrinth, like, after revisiting it so much for this run, I would say it is definitely worse than Metropolis. Which will be so much better with Tails. Just you wait. Just skip half of it. What a good time. Mess that up. Wow. I didn't expect to go that high. Now, though this is the best stage, this is like, actually, perhaps the second worst boss? Because it's just so inconsistent. And, wow. Sometimes he will just ignore it. He'll ignore the platform you're waiting to shoot the spike ball into. Sometimes he won't, and he'll drop it right on you. Got it. That was the quickest I've done it in a while. Who's hungry? Now, dawn of the next morning. I messed that up. Sonic makes it to Eggman's base. Maybe it's not even dawn of the next morning. Maybe it is still night, and the light pollution is so bad from the smog in this area that it looks bright. Okay. Who could say? Not me, that's for sure. Great jump. So, one of the big issues I have with this, and it's to be expected, honestly, this PC port is you can't alter the controller you're using. It will only support DualShock Xbox and keyboard. So I can't do the GameCube controller. And the DS4 loves to eat your inputs, that's for sure. I know nothing about Blade Runner, funny enough. I'm pretty sure it's like semi-Marvel, and about vampire hunting. You remember the spinnies in, Scrap Brain? Or no, Metallic Madness? You're seeing right now what I meant by the Sonic CD stages being like Sonic 1 Plus. Oh, come on. When the sound effect stops, it goes away. What's going on here? Nailed it. Wait. I always mix this up. In Act 2, you go down the one step. Ooh. In Act 1, you go up. I'm confusing with Blade, aren't I? Yeah, so I'd actually know absolutely nothing about Blade Runner. Egg boy. He loves these laser barriers. He loves them. So this actually, I've said this is as bad as you'd expect it, because it's a labyrinth-style zone. It's actually not. It is very doable. I'm not used to those actually firing that quickly, but hey, okay. That was a new experience all around. The key is you have to go past that platform. If you don't go past that platform, this is an awful stage. I guess I didn't get a chance to practice this much because I didn't focus on the other two acts of Scrap Brain because they're way more technical. This is just you have to take that up route and voila baby, you're Gucci. There's no boss because you have to go right to the final boss. Which is... might be slightly harder in this. Apparently you can manipulate Eggman in the original version, and I think I kinda did that by accident when I showed you this the first time. It is super random in this remastered version. But at least you can spin dash away from the electricity. Oh, cool. Hitboxes, love them. Yeah, I think some of the weird stuff about hitboxes I mentioned in Mania, I think they were trying to emulate Sonic 1 a little more. Hitboxes are so big in this. Also, the spikes are so big. Did I ever point that out? They get so much smaller in later games. I remember I was at a video games expo once. It was literally downstairs from the anime convention I was at, and there was a challenge to be able to do this one in under, like, a minute or so. I actually managed it that time. Not managing it this time. I did miss the first hit. Maybe it needs more hits in this version? How do I do that? No, actually, normally I get, like, at least 105. That's weird. Yeah, don't. And if I were still doing the speedrun, right here would be time. And the only difference if you have the Chaos Emeralds, since we're doing my pre-done file, is just, it's kind of very Sonic CD, actually. There's just some more flowers. Now Sonic has a gun! Oh god! Another classic staff roll theme. Yeah, so there's mods for this, and the only one I have is to give Sonic a gun at the end. I'm glad at least someone was here for a reaction to that. Shadow's not the only one with firearms now, boy. Sonic the Gun Hog. Okay. Let's move right along to Sonic 2. After I get that out of the way, there we go. So the remastered version PC compilation for Sonic 2 is called Absolute, and this part, it's so many parts about this is charming as hell to me. Like, you literally, I can pick up on the story right here. Sonic is traveling in his plane to West Side Island. Like, they actually allude to it. And there's an extra thing at the end. Yeah, after defeating Eggman, he goes to West Side Island, which South Island Stopped is next to. Eggman follows him because he wants revenge. This is the island where the 7th Chaos Emerald is. And most importantly of all, he befriends a little two-tailed fox named Miles Per Hour, aka Tails, who starts following Sonic around the island because he thinks he's cool. And also is interested in the plane he has because he's a budding mechanic. And I'm gonna try to get all of the Chaos Emeralds in this first stage. Yeah. See, you've learned. You know Sonic now. No water for Sonic. You gotta fly a plane, especially in the ocean. But look at these special stages. I played at least 2 of them for you last time. They're completely redone. They have a draw distance. It is easier to tell what's going on. If you have Sonic and Tails at the same time, it's easier to... Tails has less of a delay, so he's not as much of a liability. Everything about this is an improvement. It also doesn't drain your rings to do this, so you can go to the next checkpoint. Which, like, to get all the Chaos Emeralds in Emerald Hill originally, you'd have to go back and recollect, like, all of the rings. Like, it's almost like... Honestly, it's enjoyable now. This enhanced version. There's our 7th Chaos Emerald. The Aquamarine, except we have to collect all of them again, because we're doing it live, we're doing it full. The pun in his name originates in Japan. I don't think he was actually called Tails until the Americans got their hands on it, and they were like, hey, Tails would be a cute nickname, because Miles Per Hour is a little highbrow for our children. Oh, that was a good yeet. There are 3 checkpoints in this and 4 in Act 2. So, yeah, Sonic thinks it's cool that Tails can use his tails to go fast. This is very heartwarming to Tails, who has lived as an outcast on this island because of his 2 tails. Sonic has a plane, that's really cool too. Everything about Sonic is very cool to Tails, and luckily for Tails, he's pretty cool to Sonic. So, when Eggman takes over the facilities and makes his own, and decides to attack this island with all of his robots, powered by little animals, to get the 7 Chaos Emeralds now, the 2 of them team up. Oop. Forgot about that. I still have enough rings. He is just a little guy. I don't know, like, they had to give him a story. I'll probably turn the music up a little more. No, sound effects are too loud. It's just a lovable little lad. Oh, also, I've said before that you couldn't fly in the original Sonic 2. You can fly in this. You can also, as I complained about with Sonic Mania, you can cancel flight. I was gonna be cool there, but I wasn't. Like that. I love flight cancel so much. In a way, this does seem like it breaks this game a little bit, but because the stages aren't quite as big as they are in Sonic 3, but there are some places you almost can't reach without flying, so... Weird choice. I'm not complaining. I love it. Anything to improve my experience with the first two games. I used to be a purist, and thought, like, why would you do that? That changes the game. Well, younger Vale, you are dumb. It makes the game better and more fun. As long as the game is fun, that's what it's all about. I mean, if you really want Sonic to turn into Temple Run, just download Sonic Dash, the mobile game. Because it's literally Temple Run. This is a little more intricate, maybe a little less. I've never played Temple Run itself. Sonic loves his half-pipes. We'll have more half-pipes next stream. More like quarter-pipes than that. See, I would not have seen that coming. Like, I spaced out. In the original version, I'd have already been hit by the time I realized it was coming. Yeah, it's in its blood, it's in its DNA. What you can be angry about is that the better Infinite Runner only lasted like 2 years, if even, not even. And Sonic Dash, which came out beforehand, still running. There are 3 versions of it. There's Sonic Dash 2, which is the Sonic Boom Edition, and Sonic Forces, or Sonic Forces Mobile Racing, which is multiplayer, and the best one of them, and also extremely frustrating. And I'm very salty about Sonic Runners not existing anymore. Well, it does exist as Sonic Runners Adventure, and we'll play that on stream before Sonic Forces. Hopefully, I'll be able to purchase it. I don't have it yet. But I'm gonna do a blind run of it, as blind as my previous exposure to it allows me to be. I'm not sure, in Sonic 3, if Tails is flying, projectiles that hit the top of his tails will get bounced off. I'm not familiar with Infinity Blade. Like, I'm a little bit of a mobile game junkie when I do actually have a functioning phone, which I do not right now. But I hadn't been playing them too much recently, before my phone got crushed. Because just I've been playing real games. You'll notice that the palette for the area coincides with the emerald color. I'm clearly about to get the Goshenite. First one was a nice blue and orange. There's a purple and orange for the blue one, which is more purple. And then orange and an orange. Oh, I think that one was red, actually. So the orange one was red, the actual orange one, yellow, will be green and orange palette, weirdly enough. There's 2 green palettes. That's where having 2 characters helps. Pink is pink. I just fed you all lies and nonsense. That wasn't the Goshenite, it was the Morganite. Souls-like combat in a mobile game? I'll take it. Okay. Cannot go back up. Okay. Where's the next one? I don't remember. Okay, I still have emeralds in the back. This is too far ahead. Yeah, here we go, fucking monkey. I feel like I don't know anything now that I fed you those lies. Oh, that's something I should probably for this game start telling you, is the names of the animals that I'm freeing. I was a little too focused for Sonic 1 to start doing that. Woo. I always love stuff like that in these, where you get the swirl. Imagine a Sonic game with Death in Reverse. Rebirth. Roguelike Sonic. Roguelike Sonic featuring Rogue the Bat. Rouge the Bat. The last one is tricky to get with Sonic and Tails in the original. Oh, assuming I don't overshoot this. Oop. There we go. Well, second to last one. See, that's actually kind of weird, because the orange and green one you'd think would be green, and this one's more yellow. But how would I... I'm so upset with myself for even deigning to tell you that the Goshenite, the white one, was in the gray stage and not the Morganite. How can I forget the god-awful final one, which is notoriously the white emerald? Hey, in my defense, the emeralds are a little bit off color in this, so they would not be approved by the diamonds in Steven Universe initially. I can hear yellow now. What kind of mashish is purple? Incidentally, the only barrels we see in that are an emerald, an aquamarine, and a bixby, or red barrel. Except, it was not supposed to be a red barrel initially, which is why its crabby stone is like green when it first pops. It was supposed to be Amazonite, I think. But it always is funny to me when fans say that, like, Jades have the most variety of forms in Steven Universe when the barrels are, like, extremely different. The Chaos Rutiles. I mean, we have a Phantom Ruby. The funny thing about Rutile is, like, the actual gemstone of it is the little fragments in the middle. It's not actually, like, the red or clear gemstone it's in, it's the, like, gold part. Safety fly. Also, we never did, like, land on a very good name for the time stones. That's the thing I forgot to clarify about Sonic Mania. I don't think really anyone was here for me to explain at the early part, so that's like a full VOD explanation for you, if I don't say more. But I can actually fully believe that Sonic was intended to go to the future for forces there, because I realized the Chaos Emeralds were interacting with the Phantom Ruby to create that portal, and we do know that the Chaos Emeralds have at least a single Chaos Emerald has minor spatial and temporal powers. Abilities. I'm correct, this is the one that's 5 in a row. It's also easier to stay on a side in this remastered version. I sure have a lot of things to say, it seems. Okay, now here's where it's just a bunch of random rings, wherever. Luckily, I have nearly all— oh goodness. Oh, eating my own words. Eating my own worms. I was all ready, and I mean, we're good? We're still good? We're still good. Guys, I thought I needed like 220. Heck no. I thought it was gonna be bad, but it wasn't. Okay. Aquamarine, Mashish, Bixby, Morganite, Heliodor, Emerald, and Goshenite all collected. And in this version, you can go Super Tails. It's not just Sonic, baby. And I got an achievement. Also, what's very good about this is, it's a separate vomit button to go super. So you don't have to worry about automatically going super by flying. It takes after Sonic Mania that way. I guess that's a recap explanation. Once you have all the 7 emeralds, you can get ultimate power, and in the form of, for Sonic and Tails, that is formed in basically becoming a Super Saiyan, or, I don't know. If Tails can do it too, and he doesn't turn golden and shiny like a Saiyan, perhaps it is, Kaioken. Perhaps it is Ultra Instinct. Kaioken existed back then. Ultra Instinct sure didn't. Yeah, that's understandable. Like, I flip-flop between whether I prefer Sonic or Tails over my, career as a person. It's hard for me to separate them at this point. I was definitely more of a Tails kid originally. I think because foxes are closer to cats and I didn't really know what hedgehogs were, except for Sonic, who was cool and blue. There we go, boys. This is the preferred route. Cool. Okay, maybe? I don't remember. No, this is the dispreferred route. There's an achievement in this version, if you go through the entirety of Chemical Plant without, touching the grape juice, you get an achievement, which is difficult at the end part where it's chasing you. In the original, that tube I went in, that seemed to put me into the juice, it would count as going in the juice in the original. They didn't have, like, layers. So it's an interesting thing that they added for this. Tails' revengeance. He does not fall in the grape juice this time. Oh yeah. Said about naming the animals. I don't actually know what the eagles are called. I think the rabbits are called Pocky. Did I have more lore to go into and recap during Sonic 2? Sonic 2 is kinda long. It's not gonna be terribly shorter than last time. I didn't, like, practice a speedrun or anything. I'm just playing as Tails. Gotcha. Yeah. Wow. Tunnel vision. I didn't see those bugs at all. Okay. Why would I need to practice these stages? I've been playing Sonic 2 since a child. Sonic 1 is, frankly, less familiar to me. Oh, I can't go up there. We'll hide your city, that's for sure. A little close for comfort. Eat. I also forget what the penguins are called. Oh, I think they're Pecky, actually. So it's Flicky and Pecky this one. My hair back up. Enjoy some jazz for the moment. That's another small detail you can put on these remastered versions. When I hit the spring, I did the twirl from Sonic CD. I feel like something like that happened to me in the original version, and I died from it, because I went too far off the screen. Man, oh man. Ding ding. That was smart. I probably should have gone super. I didn't even look at my rings or anything. There we go. Oops. Okay. Oh, the bears are called Becky. That's cute. Also, that's like the biggest example of a animal that should be way bigger, even if it was a cub. If it was a cub, it should still be like Tails' size. I was playing Sonic Rush recently instead of like any of the games that should be. And there are camels in that one. Like tiny camels. Let's go. Just move along. Did I want to also recap the development history? I don't know if I was going to do that. Where am I? Cool. So I want to recap the Game Gear series of games. I never actually gave like a story rundown to that, and part of the reason is because for most of them, there isn't a story. It's just good old Eggman's back on South Island, and he wants the Chaos Emeralds, and there's only 6 for some reason, and he's hired an echidna named Knuckles to set the island on fire. The only one that had, like, significant story was 2, which deviated from this in several ways. Did my controller disconnected? 8-bit Sonic 1, same exact story, but with the pollution factor. Sonic 2 Tails comes to South Island after his adventures on Cocoa Island, befriends Sonic, and then Eggman comes and steals the 6 Chaos Emeralds, and the island starts to sink. Come to think of it, I don't think the island ever starts to sink in the later ones when he gets his hands on them either. Maybe that was the plot to Sonic Chaos instead of 2. One thing that is neat, if you recall that I played a Green Hills zone from Sonic 2 8-bit, composed by Masafumi Ogata. The song for that is referenced in Sonic Chaos for Mecha Green Hills. It's not an exact remix, but it has distinct melodic references to it, because it's like an augmented version. So it's not like it's a you can do anything version, so much as it's an alternate from the original in the way that you can do anything as the Sonic CD theme. Ooh. Yeah, I kinda spaced out on the game there, huh? No! Hey man, what are you doing? It's true. Speaking of Jolly Ranchers, that is exactly what the Chaos Emeralds look like in 3D Blast. Like, no joke. Got that emerald cut, that little divot in the middle. Sonic the Hedgehog's shut up and jam. That's something I didn't point out last time. You look at these, the walls in this place. They're green? And I always, like, saw this and was like, what is this weird, like, vegetation? But it's not, it's rocks. They're green rocks, and all of the ones in the background are purple, and, like, it took me to grow out of my baby brain to realize that. Because it looks like cabbage. Or, like, maybe in, like, fossilized vegetation. Maybe it's quartz? Because... Oh, nuts. That was a shortcut down there. Because, Sonic CD has Quartz Quadrant, right? And it's the one stage that does not correlate with a Sonic 1 stage. So it was probably, like, same idea as Mystic Cave. Yeah, exactly. Like, it doesn't feel like striations or anything, it feels like leaves. But it's also, like, definitely really hard and spiky, like gems. There's also, like, a little purple in there, which is very cabbage feeling. Like, maybe this is just a cabbage cave. That's what's so mystic about it. I really enunciated that. That's what's so mystic about it. Nailed it. You're too fast. Oh no, that's Death Pit. They removed the spikes from the Death Pit? In this version? That's really cool, actually. No teasing. See, there was a platform on the other pit, because that's always there. That one had spikes in it last time I fell down it. Cool. I promise that was exposition of how the game has been changed, not an actual death on my part. Oop. Go through this time. Oop. I wonder if I can block the spikes this way. A little bit of smoothness there on that drill. Oop. Nope, okay. So, remember in Marble Garden, spikes fall in the mid-boss like that, too? Actually, this is very similar to the mid-boss in Marble Garden. They will just bounce off the shields. Oh, it's Clucky and Mickey! See the rats I told you about? They're named Mickey. Millennials have killed the death pit industry. No, that theme is a high-key banger. Don't even step. Like, the best track in the game. Kingdom Hearts? What? What's a Kingdom Hearts reference? Also, how did I, like... The game is slightly blocking the chat window, so I couldn't see you said Hearts, but I did guess you said Kingdom Hearts. I went the wrong way. I thought I'd spice things up a little. It's okay, I'm Tails. Sipping that Mountain Dew Code Black. Oh, right, yeah, the rats that were... The rats I was freeing, the small animals, their name is Mickey. Along with Clucky. Boop. Beep. Oh. And like I said during Sonic CD, absolutely brazen decision for them to make, to call a rat Mickey in this. And it to be a character that is so not a character that they will not notice. Because it is just a little animal that the name does not appear outside of the manual. Sorta wish Tails had the drop dash. I've just really been on that drop dash game since playing Mania. You know, Mickey does look like a Sonic character. Like, especially classic style Mickey with where the white of the eyes is so big. Or rather, the eyes are just black dots over white. Furthermore, Bowser could absolutely be a Sonic character. There are so many seahorses. I'm trying to read something. I think you would probably get away with that unless, like, there's voice acting that... Which, I mean, would be material that says it other than, like, hidden information. But I guess also if it was a main character, like, the fans would know and they would talk about it. Yeah, Bowser, though, like, could be, like, related to Vector. Like, on the turtle side of the family. Yeah, I forgot to mention Vector earlier. That's one of Sonic's friends from South Island. We have established in my version of this canon, my headcanon insistence that does not conflate with canon itself. I mentioned Mighty and Ray. I did show pictures of Mighty and Ray on the startup screen. They were placed so they were flying alongside all the other characters. I even put a little Amy sprite so that she wasn't feeling left out. I almost added the Chaotix, but they didn't accept my invitation. And I blocked out Shadow's face with my favorite joke that nobody cares about. So the animals in this are Pecky the penguin and Rocky the seal, which are the absolute two worst things you want to dive into an ocean of oil. Rocky is a good name for a seal, though. Or I think it's actually supposed to be a walrus. Ah. Oh, so like I did play some of this stage with Sonic on this version. Having the Insta-Shield actually doesn't help it that much. Especially in cases like that. No. Damage boost. So, like, you can try and fly up these, but after a certain point, it does sort of get faster for you to at least run, like, halfway up. I do have the inherent habit to try and do this like I can't fly, for reasons that are probably obvious. I think it was, there's a game for the Neo Geo Pocket, an exclusive Sonic, an exclusive Sonic game for a handheld that I have never seen in my life and always mistake for the Wonder Swan, which is Bandai's and not SNK's. Sonic Pocket Adventure has a nice modern Sonic logo, but what it is, effectively, is a reimagining of 1, 2, and 3. It's, like, a little wonky on the story, but it starts at Neo... I think they call it Neo South Island, and it's mostly Green Hill. All of the music is, like, 8-bit remixes, or rehashes. Demixes? of 1, 2, and 3. And you go to a version of Metropolis Zone that has a Scrap Brain color palette, and that's just Scrap Brain. It's also just Metallic Madness Past. So there's like a clear design consistency with Eggman here. I don't know where I'm going here. This is fun. Oh, I know this place. Like, towards the end of that, like, you start on South Island, but you, like, fight Knuckles, and then you befriend Knuckles, and then you save the Master Emerald for him. So it's, like, it's concise, and it fits this story the way that, like, it was imagined to be initially, unlike the way the Game Gear decides to be like, we're gonna make some good games that make no narrative sense. Hell yeah. Which, honestly, I still can appreciate. Again, Game Gear games, they're mostly pretty damn good. You don't want to fly up here because of this jerk. You just fly over that one, and that one. Oh, nuts. Can't fly over that one. I lied. Again with the dishonesty. Come on. Interesting. Nope, we still have one more act before we get there. There. Another thing from Mania I forgot to check was the, what happens if you actually beat, like, Super Knuckles or Super Tails. Because I did have that file. I meant to actually play through it and check if it did the Knuckles and Knuckles ending. Which apparently it does, but it doesn't give you the same comedic thing where Knuckles and Knuckles hop on a thing with Knuckles to escape. It just zooms out afterwards to be Knuckles telling the story about his fight with the Egg Reverie, which is less fun. Go up or down? Down. I can always tell about that for Sonic 4. I actually don't remember if I finished my thought about Sonic Mania earlier. I went on a bit of a tangent. Alright, I just talked about the time properties of the Chaos Emeralds. Oh boy. I think this is the one that's distinctly way too long to fly up. This or the next segment of it. Also, those things are designed to come after you at intervals that correlate with your running, so that you can avoid them. Farewell. let's try to... Doesn't work. But if I damage boost, then it doesn't matter. Oh no. Okay, so there's another extremely charming part that comes into play in Sonic. Look! The turtles are named Taki and they get little parachutes, so they're not flying to their death anymore. I love it. I love it so much. It is adorable. The chickens are birds, so I guess they don't need them. It does not get old for me. Because that was such a big joke. People have made, like, comics about it, like, yeah, we freed this turtle, and then it just plummets. I am able to fall off if I, like, do the spin dash the wrong way type deal. It's not supposed to, especially if you go backwards. They couldn't completely fix that. It's sort of a glitch, but you aren't supposed to be able to fall off, yeah. Risky tactics and all. Well, that's fun. I guess they're gonna get a gravity rush out of that one. It's okay, I'm sure it's like Sonic and there's no fall damage, so even the children are fine. The children are lighter, they're probably more fine. I've always wanted to play Gravity Rush. There's, I think we have Gravity Rush 2 on the Vita, but I can't play it because my brother needs to sign into it. Some sort of DRM limitation. As our good friend Apollo says, I'm fine, everyone's fine, everything's fine. This time, Sonic gets shot down, and I nail it perfectly. I don't even know if Tails can, like, do that properly. That's a Sonic strat. Also, since we're Tails, we can take a slightly faster route by going down here. And I wasn't gonna get hit by that. You would normally need to damage boost. We can do it. Nope. It did not want me to land. Momentum was not in my favor. Like, even with Sonic, I like to continue to take the route where I jump up there, like I did last time. But, I should probably do that too with Tails. Those propellers you need to do a damage boost to get past with Sonic. With Tails, you can just fly through a nook. This is actually so much easier with Tails. And you cannot fly across this area here. They've actually added wind that will knock you back, which is very clever, because you're not supposed to be able to fly with Tails. That would just break that obstacle entirely. take that shortcut, unlike which I didn't do last time, this becomes a very short stage. You still have to do probably the hardest part of it, but, you know. Ah. How's that egg word? People were asking about Eggman's name in another stream I was in. Because, like, I'm not even sure if he had the doctor attached to it this early on in Japan. I think it might have just been Eggman. And I think Ivo, his first name, actually might come from the Saturday morning cartoons. And I don't know if they've even officially kept that. But I do know for sure in Sonic Adventure he refers to himself as Dr. Eggman. Dr. Eggman-sama, specifically. So I sometimes wonder if they intended for Eggman to be like a last name for the family, not just a nickname, but they kind of worked Robotnik into it. You're not Sonic. I can't be fooled. I'm smart, Eggman. Did you know? You'll know. In fact, there is clear evidence in the future that Eggman respects Tails' knowledge, and it infuriates him as well. There is a kind of quicker way to do this battle, I learned. It is very, very risky with Tails without the Insishield, because you have to make sure you don't hit those legs and you don't hit that fire, as long as he's not blinking. I'm super surprised it worked there. And they changed the way the arms work here. So the arms will always go up or down in this version, and that took me actually a while to not get screwed over by. But yeah, no. That made this boss... I made that boss look really easy. What I just did was not easy. I kinda wish I was doing like a speedrun or something. So Tails does not get the cutscene Sonic does. So he does just kind of like fly down for a while, faster than... It takes a while longer than Sonic's like super flying. I guess you could say it's because he's falling at a slower descent, because he's flying. He's also super. Yeah, I still wonder where he gets all the materials for this Death Egg. And like, for like 2 whole games, arguably 3 whole games, he tries to get this single space station up in the air, so like, he's very goes for it. There's Flickies this time. I think last time there were the Eagles. They even changed it for Sonic that it's Eagles, even when you get all the Chaos Emeralds, I think. Or that it's Flickies this time. Which is good, because there was lag. Yeah, Tails is a hero too. I'm gonna let the credits play while I go to the bathroom real quick. There's something very cool at the end of the credits in this version. But I would say I've given Sonic 1 and 2 the respect it deserves. I know I didn't talk them down before, but I skipped a lot of stuff. I didn't show you the full experience until this time, for the most part. They're games that deserve respect, but I just needed them to respect me back first. Look here! The Death Egg is falling. What's that it's falling into? I love it! They hint to Sonic 3. It's beautiful. Knuckles is peeking. Knuckles is finding this man. I guess I could, sort of, reiterate what I said last time about, how Knuckles and Eggman met. I don't even have Steam open, actually, so I'm gonna... I'll put the starting screen back on, so you can enjoy this. I forgot to open up Steam. But yeah, Eggman falls on Angel Island. Yeah, you got Ray here, you got Mighty here, you got Amy being cool, sweet, and catchy, you got DJ Eggman. Hold me in your big arms. That's the boss, we're gonna actually fight it today. Oh, okay, I actually had stuff to, show you. So this is a map of Angel Island that they added for Origins. And I think I'll start off our recap with it. I'll get back into, the whole meeting between Eggman and Knuckles afterwards, but I wish I could show the mouse on this to point stuff out, but you can clearly see where most of the stages are in here, and the way it's different from the actual one in Sonic 3 is they switched where Mushroom Hill and Angel Island are represented. At least, the very least, Angel Island's very clearly where the mushrooms were, so they came in there, they fell down to Hydra City, they went to Marble Garden. What I actually love about this one, and I'll get to why there's a problem here, is if Angel Island is on this side of the island, they could totally have seen the Death Egg being rebuilt as they flew in. So they would have known they were immediately on the right direction to get to Eggman, and they got to those falls, and Knuckles threw them down into the Hydra City. They pop up over at Marble Garden, and they're like, okay, where are we? So they wander around to the other side of the island to Carnival Night, get launched over to Ice Cap, before they finally get to Dragon Lake, where Death Egg landed. And then they go into the sky. They could easily fall wherever to get to Mushroom Hill, fly on Flying Battery to the Sandopolis and into the mountain for Lava Reef. The reason this doesn't work is because of Knuckles' playthrough. He doesn't launch into the sky with the Death Egg because that is already launched. He goes to a different part of Launch Base Zone and falls directly to Mushroom Hill afterwards, which would make sense to be at the falls below Dragon Lake instead of all the way over here. There's no way you could have gotten there without flying across Sandopolis. I said I absolutely love this. It's very charming. They have islands for the stage select in it. It's good. Origins is gonna be fun. It's basically gonna have its own versions of what I just played, of Sonic 1 and 2. Like, the good versions. Okay, this is very quiet. And I'm using the wrong controller. Heck yeah, we can use GameCube, baby. Let me just fix this. Yeah, to be fair, he's also 1 meter tall, so he doesn't have a lot of body to move. I'm just adjusting things. So we are starting with all emeralds for Knuckles. The way I am going to interpret this is after the fact, since they were already supercharged in the Hidden Palace. Knuckles is just like, hey Sonic, I'm gonna use these to help clean up my island, because I've got an egg robo that's trying to bomb me. But as you can see, there's no South Island in the sea. There's no sea, it's just sky back there, and I love it. So like, let's recap Knuckles' story specifically, since I told how Sonic and Tails went for a bit. Captain Knuckles, hell yeah. Love me a little. I don't know if I actually love that show, but it was funny. An invader drops to Knuckles' island. There's an egg in Dragon Lake. He hides the Master Emerald in the Hidden Palace instead of its usual altar, and tries to figure out what this guy's deal is. The reason I said in the first place that Eggman finds him hiding it in the... Real quick, we just went a completely different route from Sonic. Eggman finds his hidden palace because he clearly eventually scours this entire island with robots, is because I do want Eggman to have seen the mural to be able to twist his story. But knowing Knuckles as Knuckles, he could have found Eggman and started just like spewing all kinds of information about like, what is your plans? Why are you going after the Master Emerald? Who are you? And Eggman could really like, Eggman's smart, like we know this is established. He's just been like, oh yes, the Master Emerald, you see, I'm here to protect it from an invader about to steal it. And Knuckles could have just been like the mural. And Eggman could have, without missing a beat, would be like, exactly! So, like, Knuckles, listen to me, Knuckles. I will do everything in my power to keep your Master Emerald safe. Even if it means destroying your island. And then Knuckles is like, that sounds a bit much, but okay. And he goes to meet Sonic on his way here. Punches the heck out of him from underground, because he has the ability to dig. We don't see it in this. He takes those emeralds and hides them, and continues to try and thwart Sonic as he goes. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. That's why I didn't mean to do that. Until, at the very end, Sonic defeats Knuckles at the Hidden Palace, where we see the mural and realize that Eggman's the one trying to take the emerald, not Sonic, as he immediately tries to do. So Knuckles takes Sonic to the Sky Sanctuary, and it's like, get him, boy. Where there's a bunch of these egg robos that Sonic and Tails destroy. But one of them survives the wreckage. And after the Death Egg is truly destroyed, one of them awakens and starts heckling Knuckles. So he has to go around and fight them. Oh. I can take the upper route, show you this. I don't even know if this is faster. There's a big ring there. I don't remember how to get it. I didn't even know about this route until recently, actually. And we took an underwater route last time. We weren't taking that this time. At all. Oh, see? I didn't mean to do that, but it happens as soon as you try and glide. Also, I don't want to be this way. Okay. I forgot how juicy his spin dash is when he's hyper. That's big. Fun fact while we're at it, some of the stuff that was added to Sonic and Knuckles that's used in this version was composed by Howard Drawson, who's most known for the Sonic Spinball soundtrack. It also shows up later for Sonic and the Black Knight. Does some of the really good tracks in that. I just thought that was a neat little tidbit, because he was otherwise not in this for Sonic 3, while MJ's team was working on it. I just interrupted myself from a different thought. I think I was going to just continue to say that we'll see Knuckles basically goes through the same ordeals Sonic did, with the Egg Robo repurposing Eggman's machinery that is left behind. It's sort of a lost cause to get all the robots off this island. I think Knuckles realizes. I say that for reasons in the future. Don't worry about it. Eventually he makes his way to Sky Sanctuary. And the Egg Robo gets destroyed by Mecha Sonic, who's trying to use the Master Emerald's power for himself to become Super. And I'm saying this ahead of time, see? It always happens. I never expected it. We can just go right into the next games. We're gonna do a full recap, not just for Sonic 1, 2, and 3. We gotta get all the way to Sonic 4. Should probably clarify a few things with Sonic and Sonic's story that I just sort of run over. But I mean, pretty bare bones. They get to Launch Base Zone, where the Death Egg is being rebuilt. It begins to be relaunched, and they blow it. They start to seem to blow it out of the sky, but it lands on the Red Mountains. And so they have to go into the mountains, into the lava reef, and Hidden Palace to stop Eggman from accessing it again, but he's always one step ahead. Launches the Death Egg. I did say most of this from Knuckles' perspective. I did want to remind you about the Death Egg having been launched out of Dragon Lake for a reason that I'll get into when we're at Launch Base. But I'll start going into Knuckles Chaotix now. After all of this stuff happens here, the Master Emerald has been repowered to a degree, which has some interesting implications for a few years later. A year later, probably, actually. Well, the first thing it causes is another island to rise from the ocean, complete opposite of what happens in Sonic 2 8-bit, where an ocean threatens to go into the ocean. Yeah, slam. Love it. And something I haven't really mentioned, because it's sort of not really dipped into until Sonic Adventure 2, kind of Adventure 1, is Knuckles is he's got a bit of a treasure hunter type personality. He likes a good exploration for those gems that he has spent his life protecting. So when this island appears, and it has the power of the Master Emeralds being signatured down there. This is a little loud, I realize. Let me turn down the game volume a little. Just a little. Okay. So probably when he feels the Master Emerald's power from this island, he decides maybe there's actually treasure. It's sort of the same idea as why Espio, another character who arrives at the island, arrives, because it's an ancient island. It perhaps has historic relics that he's interested in. And they sort of bond over this for sure. Espio is jealous that Knuckles actually protects an ancient culture, because he's really fascinated by that. But where Knuckles finds Espio is on an isolated island outside of this bigger island that fell, and he was being trapped in a stasis pod by Eggman, who got to the island before all of them. And he has a new creation with him, which is the one and the only Metal Sonic. Uh-oh, we got a glitch here. This rumbling was supposed to end by now. There are many ways to make this entire level rumble forever. Oh, goodness me. So they follow him to the island where the power of the Master Emerald is coming from. And Eggman has turned it into an amusement park called the Neutrogic High Zone. And they find 3 other characters there. One is one Sonic also knows, Mighty the Armadillo. And then there's Vector the Crocodile, who Sonic also knows, apparently. And then there's Charmy the Bee, who is just an adventurous little guy who's really fast for an insect, and flew there on the island for the adventure himself. It is a lot of rings. Let me tell you, there's an achievement in Sonic CD to get 200 rings, and I haven't gotten it yet. And I have told you, I have implied at least before, in Carnival Night, probably Act 2, I've gotten upwards of 800 rings. No, they hand out rings like candy in all the routes. You just have to have all the emeralds, because once you get the big rings, it just gives you 50 rings per big ring. And my rings are draining, too. So I would have more if I was not super. But surely you have noticed that some of Knuckles' routes have some variation to it. This is not one of them for the first act. $300. See, I have a shield technically, so the spikes are bouncing, as I mentioned, for 2. So we're at the Neutralgic High Zone. We have 5 characters. Knuckles, Mighty, Espio, Vector. Got a mouse in the way, I hate when I do that. And Charmy. Sonic and Tails are nowhere to be seen. So they take care of it on their own. I'll try to go this route. Using a technique known as the Super Glide. I don't think I can go further than that. Oh, no, okay. That is a Tails exclusive route, technically, but if you're tenacious enough, you can go there with Knuckles, too. It might not actually be faster, too, though. There's another route that requires not taking damage to go a Tails exclusive route. Oh, nuts. And what these characters, led by Knuckles primarily, find is that the Master Emerald's power has manifested in special stages as 6 Chaos Rings. And that's basically the treasure Knuckles was sensing. But at this point they have to stop Eggman from whatever he's attempting to do here, as he has used these Chaos Rings to generate an alternative power source to his robots instead of using animals. He has artificial power rings, much like the rings we are collecting, except they're more in tune with the Master Emerald's power. Sidebar, which I explained briefly last time. The rings that I am collecting are semi-physical and manifestations of the Emerald's power on the planet. And they protect you by giving you life power. It is sort of abstractly coded into the lore. Here's where Knuckles deviates from Sonic and Tails. He has to go up here because the following area, if you recall, collapsed already when Sonic and Tails went through it. So we need to find a new area to collapse. And like clockwork, Geg Robo's here to make that happen. Tails could probably go this way if you're tenacious enough, much like the other way around with Knuckles going Tails' route. I think I pulled it out off before, but there's a problem with getting through the walls. I think Knuckles is the only one strong enough to break through some of the walls. When we get a longer portion like this, this is one that I've actually, struggled with way more than the other one. But I make it with enough time for it to have to speed up. You get a completely different boss, too. That is chock full of RNG. Ooh, that was close. That was spicy. Like, the positions that Eggman is in the sky in Sonic's version of this, they are the same every time. It is a pattern. Where the spikes launch in this is anyone's guess. I'm getting extremely lucky by not getting hit by them. Oh, see, sometimes they're super close like that. Nothing I can really do about that except try and, play it safe, but could just as easily have come out another way. Ooh, that's something I didn't mention yet. These flickies, they're usually blue. For Knuckles, they're red. There are red flickies. We see them in Sonic 3D Blast. There's 4 flavors of flicky. Blue, red, magenta, and green. They all have slightly different personalities. But Knuckles' Carnival Night Zone is like 100% different. There's 93% different. It's way shorter than Sonic's. Oh, I missed that. I was gonna do the swag strat. Ow. That was the opposite of swag. So appropriately, we're in Carnival Night Zone while we're talking about the new Tragic High Zone. I'm gonna show this. Okay, it wasn't that swaggy. It didn't keep the momentum. Because, this part of the Angel Island, I am positive, was not a carnival before Eggman got to it. Eggman decided to take the area that was most developed from the recent civilization of Knuckles' people. By the way, I forgot to mention, Knuckles is the last of his people. He's the only one left on this island, and he guards the Master Emerald because that's what his people do. For reasons we'll get into in Sonic Adventure. And Eggman just comes in and, like, turns this city into a fucking clown car circus. It's a weird little thing that he tends to do a few times, and does it again in Knuckles Chaotix by creating the new Tragic High Zone on this random island that appears from the ocean. That our 5 characters have to go through to defeat his creations powered by artificial power rings. You could take the upper route like I did in Sonic, with Sonic, but it is long and you'd have to fight Eggman, even though he's not supposed to be in this level for Knuckles. This area down here, I really should have just showed you for the sake of it. When you go here with Sonic, there's a bubble shield. It's because there's water. This is a flooded area, and that's where, like, the water that Knuckles floods the place with later comes from. And it's not naturally like that, and I think it's a bit of a stretch looking at the map. It feels like it's an effect of Eggman, like, pumping water out of the, Death Egg after it hit the lake. This is, like, just where he put it. And so we let Knuckles use some extra of that. Like, there's plenty of water to get out of that Death Egg. It was exploded when it fell to this island. That's rough. So we're already at the end part of the act. We just passed through a little segment that Sonic runs through before reaching Eggman. Well, before actually reaching where Knuckles shoots him up to Eggman, because we're in that area. That's what this is right here, the switch was. And you just pop open this bad boy. Release some flickies and pockies. No boss. And you actually get a transporter to Ice Cap. It's wild. And it releases right where the avalanche landed on Sonic. Sure, yeah. So after going through all of the attractions in the new Tragic High Zone, Ah. You know what I was literally about to say before I went super? Hey, you actually get to hear the music this time, because I'm not super. It's okay. Knuckles deviates from this. You're normally supposed to glide down there, but I'm super. So whatever. It was a big shortcut. After defeating the areas in the new Tragic High Zone, and each of the mechs Eggman powered with the power rings, his most perfected artificial ring is fused with Metal Sonic. And Metal Sonic transforms into, I believe it's called Metal Sonic Kai. It is the first example of Metal's ability to transform into a giant robot form of himself. And after they defeat that, Sonic and Tails fly into the tornado. Not getting to see the doppelganger quite yet. A good 7 days late with Starbucks to hang out with their friends. After that, I believe he invites Tails and Sonic invites Tails and Knuckles to visit Flicky Island real quick to see his friends. And luckily they decided to do that because Eggman decided to go to this interdimensional island that is separate and put some animals and robots. Put a little hot sauce on that bad boy, as they say. Because that's just what he does now. And it's almost like he's doing it to spite Sonic, which would be accurate. He hates that hedgehog. Ooh. There's not much to that. The game itself is isometric 3D, which is cool to look at. It's still technically 2D, but it's top-down kind of deal. And the Chaos Emeralds look weird in it. They're a different shape. I spaced out. The Emeralds don't really play any part in the plan in this, which is interesting. You get the same typical haha try again if you don't, but they're not really utilized by Eggman's plan. It's sort of a treasure hunting endeavor that, which is probably how they convinced Knuckles, who is still warming up to these new friends, to join them in the first place. It's a bit of a side treasure thing that Knuckles and Tails help Sonic with, while you play through the game itself as Sonic. After that, probably inspired by what Mighty had been up to, Sonic decides to continue these adventures he's been having. He's been having fun thwarting some evil doctor's plans on lands he's not familiar with and wants to go explore the world. And he catches wind of an unusual event where every 11 months over at a place called Never Lake, a little planet, miraculously appears over it. It swoops in from its normal orbit in space to interact with Earth, their home planet. And when he arrives there, his old frenemy, Eggman, has chained it to a mountain and has created a bad future for it. Because Little Planet it's a place that is in continuous temporal flux due to the Time Stones. The past, the present, and the future exist at the same time. And Eggman wants his own future arc. Polluted. Disgusting. There's an upper route you can definitely take with Knuckles here that I didn't. Oh well. I am playing Force of Habit right here. It's great. It feels good. I love this game. I'm gonna get some specials over here that I ignored last time. Oh well. Now, weirdly enough, one of Sonic's fans he has gained over these adventures decided to follow him to this planet. Her name is Amy Rose. She is another hedgehog, but she's pink. And there's possibility she's showed up in Sonic's presence before. It would be kind of weird if she hadn't, all things considered. But she impressively makes her way to the planet as well, to see Sonic in action. Unfortunately, this gets her abducted by Sonic's newest rival that he missed out on Knuckles' last adventure, Metal Sonic. And now there are stakes for him being on this planet. He doesn't have to just stop Eggman from creating a bad future. He has to save Amy. But to stop that future, he goes back into the past in each area and destroys robot generators that create robots powered by the planet's flowers instead of the animals. Because there's something very special about this planet's flora. There's nothing, like, particular. It's actually not particularly special, it's just they're very unique, and have a lot of energy to them. And that building collapsed, remember? That's why Knuckles had to climb up it and go down a gap to fight 2 of the mid-boss. Ooh. We're definitely in hard mode, baby. Now, I actually like... One of the reasons I said before that, like, Sonic Mania Adventures that doesn't have anything to do with Sonic Mania, but does feature the Chaos Emeralds and the characters and Metal Sonic, why that would be cool to actually be canon, because I've started to like the idea of, like, before this encounter at Sonic CD, which was the introductory encounter with Metal Sonic and Amy, that Sonic actually did get a little bit of a rivalry going with this imposter, and that CD ends up being the like final showdown. It still doesn't really like fix the issue with Sonic R being very let's hang out and kart like Mario Kart, but it could at least be another way that he's challenged Metal Sonic for, like, miscolored Chaos Emeralds. That's fun. Anyway, really important to note, we are in an underground area that seems to be, like, Eggman put stuff here. We're below the lake is the thing. After the Death Egg launched out of Dragon Lake, it barely had any water left in it. So Knuckles wants to try and fix that while he's on his game here. Oh yeah. A little bit of water, because we're at the bottom. I'm sure the last of it that was in Carnival Night Zone flooded back out this way. But there's plenty still in these pipes that Eggman used to pump it out of the Death Egg before launching it. So we just gotta let that back into the ocean. And voila, we're back at water level. The fun part is, you can actually glitch into the wall like that. Not what I was gonna say. You can actually get here faster than the water rises, and there'll still be, like, a barrier here where the water should be, but it won't be filled. Anyway, that's a fun little tidbit. This is the one area where Sonic can go in this act that you also go. The rest of it is pure Knuckles. Yeah, the waterfall is basically it refilling. And we wanted to speed up that process because there's probably animals in there. It's probably bad for the local fauna. Be so dry. Even though it kind of looks deserted. Well, it's probably because it's been dry for a day or so. That's because we're playing Hollow Knuckles. Alright. Oops. I hope the boss music isn't overwritten by this. We're about to get to the boss. And this comes back. Get a lot of Hollow Knight vibes from this guy who's only played Hollow Knight. So now we get to play the Sonic 3 boss, the Big Arms, my beloved. You can be fancy with this, like that. It is risky because Knuckles cannot jump as high as Sonic. Luckily I can just punch it in the face. If you get grabbed by these arms though, you will be knocked out of Super. It is that powerful. I don't think there's anything that can knock you out of Super even in Sonic and Knuckles. I almost about to run out of rings. So, we're playing it very risky here. Oh, I have a shield, that's good. I think even if you have a shield, it will one-shot you. I think your only way to survive it is getting grabbed by the arms is to be Super and get knocked out of Super. I always say that about, like, all kinds of media. If you play the thing that reminds you... Ooh, real quick. That's the bomb that if you start Sonic and Knuckles, he will drop on Knuckles while he's chilling in Mushroom Hill. So, like, either or could happen. Like, you either start Sonic and Knuckles or not. But that is something I always say is, like, yes, there's an order, like, the creators made it that references, like, one media to another, but you will get just as much of the reference the other way around. My core example to this is how Gundam 0083 came out after Gundam Zeta and explains the rise of the Titans that are the enemies in Zeta. You get the same effect, but the other way around if you watch 0083 first instead of Zeta, which came out first. I'm sure it works the same way with certain Sonic games as well. Like, you play Sonic Adventure first, with all this stuff about Angel Island and that. You go back and play Sonic 3, it's like, oh. There's less talking, but for sure. I see where they're coming from. So basically, Symphony of the Night is ruined for you. Oh, it definitely works with the original trilogy versus the prequels versus the original trilogy. I think I've known people to have experienced it that way. It might actually make... I don't know if it makes the original trilogy even better, though. I always say, like, despite the machete cut saying you should keep Return of the Jedi for last even after the prequels, I think it's way funnier if you think Palpatine is a hopeless old man until the top of the final hour. That is peak Star Wars, when he just suddenly goes crazy old Electric Man. Oh man. I like Return of the Jedi more than most. We have an example here. Allie has You can tell us how that made you feel. Like, I love that. Like, Vader decides he's not gonna fight his son. And so Palpatine rolls up his fucking sleeves, gets out of his crusty old chair, and is like, alright then, barbecue baby. Come to my Sonic streams where we discuss the ending of Star Wars. The Death Egg is in Star Wars. It's true. It's all relevant. Everything's relevant. All media. You want to know a secret about me and Castlevania? I do love Castlevania, but I've never played Symphony of the Night. Oh, jeez. I didn't know my chat would do that for such long then. Okay. Oh, which half of Revenge of the Sith? This is very important. Rondo of Blood is sick. Rondo of Blood and Bloodlines are two of my favorite Castlevania games. I also really love the original, I just love the design concept around it. I've never played Symphony of the Night, and that is a sin to most Castlevania fans. That's fair. Whatever happens next happens. Trying to drain it just like Eggman? Come on. There are two things that I feel like might not have happened in this run of Knuckles, but like it also might as well have. But it's like kind of humorous, the fact that it does. One is that the first zone gets set on fire again. Like, it's very much, we just fixed this. But arguably, you could say the canon doesn't actually do that. They just weren't going to, like, reprogram the entire stage. By the way, the squirrels are named Ricky. I don't think I mentioned that. They're Rick Moranis. The other one is that the flying battery has been repaired. This probably should have been a stage that was completely skipped for Knuckles. And I think there's two things that point to that. I'll point out the last one when we get to it. But the first one is just that it's the exact same stage for Sonic and Knuckles. There are zero differences between both acts. It's the only stage where there's no difference. I love playing this version, and I don't like playing Mania's version. It is maybe a little linear. This is perhaps Sonic and Knuckles' Marble Zone. Oh boy, see, I needed to glide to get up there. I had no choice. We started talking about a whole lot of things, and I love that. I love when a stream can just, like, go off on a tangent like that. Where was I with Sonic's journey? With the recap of the story? I think I was in the middle of CD. Also, how long have we been running? We're at 2.5 hours. That's good time. We are gonna finish this within my usual timing. like cosines and tangents. Ooh. Gotta recollect our rings. Alright, so we can just, like, chill out for a second. So, let's see. Sonic was fixing the timeline on Little Planet. Amy was kidnapped and he had to save her. So that, like, yeah, that pattern just goes on until Stardust Speedway when he has what is his it's sort of his classic Sonic showdown with Metal Sonic, and it is appropriately a race to the death because Eggman is following with a huge laser. And after defeating Metal in a race, Amy is rescued. So all that's left to do is stop Eggman in his base that he's created on this planet. And there's two ways to do this. You can collect all the time stones, and you will get good futures regardless with their power. Or you can do all the robot generators, and also the Metal Sonic projectors. Yeah, I did mention the time stones. Time stones are our first, implementing our first illusion, yeah, that's a better word, to the fact that there are different stones for each world. There aren't a lot of worlds, but that's the thing. This poor Earth is the Chaos Emeralds. I don't think there's a Master Time Stone. Especially not with a name like that. It would need to have a specific stone. So, Sonic frees Little Planet from Eggman's grasp, breaks the chain. Metal Sonic is left behind on this planet. And Eggman realizes there's still a lot of potential for this creation. But he has to wait 11 months to get him back. Except he finds a new power shortly afterwards. A temporal distortion happens, causing the Phantom Ruby to appear on Angel Island, dropping it back down to the ground. And Eggman sends... he gets readings about this. He figures out what its capabilities are, and it's pretty akin to the Chaos Emeralds. Particularly all of them. Maybe not quite all of them. But its primary power is to create illusions. Something that he figures out how to amplify. Even before grabbing it, he sends 5 specialized egg robos to activate it and receive it from Angel Island, which Sonic and Tails get to, as well as Mighty and Ray get to the island just too late to stop this. And those egg robos, when interacting with the Phantom Ruby, become the hard-boiled heavies. Bathing in that light. Delicious. As a result of these illusion powers, Sonic and Co. are seemingly sent to Green Hill Zone. Knuckles is there too. Of course, he lives on Angel Island. Which is a core factor that they are still on Angel Island, and they are sent in a wild goose chase fighting these hard-boiled heavies in a what seems like a constant loop around the island in different illusory versions of stages they are familiar with. Also, we're gonna get some space real quick. Haha, you were faster than the air that was rising. We go to many places, such as the Flying Battery itself again. We're sent briefly to Little Planet, where we have a face-off against Metal Sonic again, amplified by the Ruby's powers. He becomes a version of Metal Sonic Kai. Also, see, they don't have a custom Egg Robo sprite for this boss. That's why I think that the Egg Flying Battery doesn't actually happen for Knuckles. Eggman isn't here, but he might as well be. Using that power, the Ruby's power, Eggman is able to interface with Little Planet and try and use its power. And all of the powers he has tried to obtain together to do whatever the heck he wants to do with it. It is not always clear what his goals are, but it is ultimate world domination. And in this case, seemingly temporal domination. This thing gets kinda old. It's not as hyper as the Sonic 3 super theme. The Sonic 3 had a different super theme that was, like, very hyperactive. It's fun, but only for, like, a few minutes. So after several encounters with hard-boiled heavies, and Eggman, quick caveat, there's a potential that Sonic Mania doesn't actually happen in this timeline. It is understood by the fandom at large, and I hate this, that it is only in an alternate dimension that its current era is with classic characters. Anyway, that's not important. After several encounters with Eggman, the Ruby interacts with the Emeralds to create a pocket space where Heavy King, the leader of the hard-boiled heavies, tries to take its power for himself. Ooh, that was a fun little goof right there. I was nowhere near the stars. And starts to struggle between Eggman, while Sonic, Knuckles, and/or Tails, and/or Mighty and Ray, fight off both of them. Okay, please. And after this happens, the Phantom Ruby interacts with the Chaos Emeralds and sends Sonic specifically into the future. But it's fine, he'll be back. What happens when he comes back is a little bit up in the air. So we're not gonna go into that. I might actually, if I can get Mania for Steam, by the time I play Forces, I think I might do a bonus stream of Encore mode, just for the heck of it, to show by example. Oh man, I can't wait for Sonic Adventure 2. So where we are left when Sonic returns from his little escapade through time, which is actually his second escapade through time. The first one would have happened shortly after CD, shortly before Mania. So Mania is sort of the one in between these two temporal excursions. Don't worry about that. For now. Eggman might have to find his way out of a temporal warp himself. Or, not a spatial warp. Surely he'll be fine. But he has a lot of planning and plotting to do. The ghosts are already released, so you are immediately met with them as Knuckles. For safety. We'll get rid of them for now. And Eggman just really, is sure that he needs to get Metal Sonic back. So, there's a long span of time where Sonic continues his journey around the world, with regular check-ins back home to see his good buddy Tails. Sometimes even Tails joins him, I'm sure. Sometimes even Knuckles joins him, probably. In fact, you could argue that Sonic Advance 1 happens before 4. There's really no reason for it. No, actually there is a reason for it not to, so never mind. So, Amy doesn't join them for a while. But Sonic gets a good however many months until Little Planet is gonna return of break from Eggman's nonsense. Of course, unless... I'm sure there's fan games that take place in that time, unless Sega wants to throw in another. We have plenty of time to fill in between CD and Sonic 4. There are two reasons that people consider this stage extremely hard. One is... okay, there are three reasons. One is there's a lot of parts where it constantly loops you. I'm realizing I completely spaced out during one of them. The slides? I didn't even realize I passed those, but I'm like halfway through the stage already, so... clearly this isn't an issue for me personally. The other are the ghosts, which are scary, but also dangerous if you don't get rid of them. Third one are those damn scorpion badniks. Did I mention the badniks all have names? I don't know what the scorpions one is. But that thing's a jerk, especially if you don't have the insta-shield to just ignore their attacks. Man. I mentioned crab meat before. That's the one with the big ball from Metropolis Zone. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. See, it's just way faster to do with Knuckles. Because you can climb, you don't have to wait for the sand to rise. Same with Tails, because I wanted to glide into his face. Oh well. Take this route. This actually brings me to a lower route, because the place flips. We've done a full recap now, huh? Apparently, let's see. I didn't go this way with Knuckles. Oh yeah, okay. This is usually Sonic exclusive. I ignored a wall, or Sonic and Tails. I ignored a wall just now that Knuckles can break through, and it takes him through a slightly more difficult area. I get that, though. It would come out that door over there. Like, not even a boss when you're super. Especially as Knuckles, because you can just glide back in. And you don't fall down for Lava Reef this time, so you start at a different area. Like a slightly different path here. I think it was that, like, none of the... I didn't actually check this. I don't think any of the songs in Sonic & Knuckles were done by the Michael Jackson team that was set up for 3. And I think it adds a slightly different atmosphere. Yeah, I mean, you can tell there's a slightly different atmosphere to the songs. They're all jams all around. You can definitely hear it in the Sonic 3 stuff, though. Even, like... even the stuff that might not have been directly touched by MJ. I start mentioning that at all because I think this is my favorite song from Sonic & Knuckles. It's just so good. Yeah. Remember, kids, vaping will drain your rings. Don't. Talk about weed and Sonic will leave. There's like 3 different places you can come out as Knuckles, depending on what route you take. I took the one that is exclusively Knuckles up until the boss. Oop, didn't jump fast enough. Can't spin dash on that. Oh, okay. This is a rough boss, huh? Sure. I remember last time I did this and I was hypersonic and it took like 3 seconds. Okay, like this is... I don't know what to say about that. I jumped on it and it hurt me. Thought I had the strat down, but I guess I don't. Like, what is going on here with that? Why am I going right through it when I jump on it? Like, difficulty to see the bullets aside. That's what I am expecting to happen. Keep misgauging the time it's gonna stand there. It's just floating for so long. We genuinely have one act left before I've finished, so, like, it's fine. We could, frankly, get to the Knuckles' final boss at 3 hours of streaming on the dot. Goes. Fire shields are indispensable. Okay. I haven't done this one all stream. So how about other series that could possibly be in the timeline so far that aren't Sonic games? There's one that I have a feeling for. It's kind of like perhaps the Yoshi's Story to Sonic's Mario, and that's Echo the Dolphin. Because there's actually just zero reason why it couldn't be. Just happening out in the ocean. Probably long before Sonic actually happens. I mean, there's time travel in the game, and there's a lot of time travel in Sonic, apparently. So, like, why not? It's thematically appropriate. And it goes way into the past. And y'all play something, Echo? About a time-traveling dolphin. I think that's probably the selling point. The first game, I actually have not played the second one. I've only played the first and Junior, which is just a bunch of fun games. Of, like, there are two different types of dolphins. Echo as a young lad, and an orca and a different dolphin. I mentioned the other dolphin. They don't have names, I don't think. That's the end of Lava Reef, by the way. Trying for the speed strat for Knuckles for Hidden Palace. Can we do it? Can we do it? Oh no! We missed the world record. That was probably like 8 seconds. I don't know. We're at the final boss. So there, look. Angel Island's in flux. Probably because the Master Emerald isn't there. It's over here. Almost as easy as Silver Sonic. Except that's not all, baby. I need to really stop saying baby. I need to, like, either... Yeah, okay. So, like, Master Emerald's here, and you can, like, emulate it, like, with the power of the Chaos Emeralds? Oop. Messed that up. Oop. Okay, I double messed that up. I got greedy. You get greedy, you get got. I believe that's a saying in Dark Souls. Knuckles is basically the Dark Souls of Sonic. You'd think it would be Shadow, but it's not. Shadow's actually the power fantasy. It's very easy for him. I'm gonna die this time, probably, because I'm, like, saying meme-ass shit instead of actually trying. I mean, Shadow, like, takes out aliens with a signpost. Meanwhile, Knuckles can't jump. Oh, he's goofing. That's the one you don't want to see. See, it's unavoidable. This egg grub was pretty smart. Just get to a point where Knuckles can't reach you and grab him. Whatever. How many lives do we have? 61? Wow. Never really paid attention to that before, but like a compartment on its chest opens up and there's like an orb. It is almost kind of stylized. Yeah, it's shooting with this. It kind of reminds me of the vent on Metal Sonic that helps him do his thrusters. Except clearly it's not. Alright, so after a certain amount of time, if you don't, like, swag style on him.com, we'll start doing this, and it's very annoying. This is desperation mode. The true gamers, aka me not on stream, would have defeated him before that happens. But that's the end of Mecha Sonic. It is not nearly as stable as Metal, who, even after being left behind on Little Planet, is actually still pretty much whole, just damaged. Good thing our good buddy Sonic was here. This is also why I think Knuckles Chaotix took a few days, because, like, Sonic was still just, like, in the area. If it happened immediately, I mean, not only would Eggman have had trouble complete, though, the days does pretty much finish the new Project High Zone. Remember there were those palm trees in Techno Tower that became, like, things? Anyway, Angel Island's going back to the sky. Even higher, nice and stable. And I can't even check things without this stopping. Producer Yuji Naka, aka U2. Hirokazu Yasuhara. I forget what the name of the yeah, okay, lead game designer. That's the level designer. He actually, after this game, went on to do Crash Bandicoot. And then after Crash Bandicoot 3, went on to do Jak and Daxter, so like, there's a name with weight to it, baby. Again with the baby! We will, it shows up twice in the story before Adventure, but we will, on stream, we will see Angel Island one more time before Adventure happens. The advanced games loved incorporating Angel Island. They loved keeping with the lore. Well, I like the handheld ones for Game Boy and DS. I'm trying to think when the last time we've actually seen Angel Island is. I think it appears in Sonic Runner's Adventure. But there's sort of a long period of time where they don't really incorporate it into the story. I think it's in Team Sonic Racing too. That happens like everywhere. That's like a little gift of locations. I have not played any of it. I would like to. I would like to on stream. I might blind stream it. Because who knows when I'll be able to purchase things next. Anyway. I hope this is an enjoyable recap of the series thus far. As much of a weird collection of games that we've recapped it is in the grand scheme of the series, because we've went over like 2 attempts at Sonic 4 before doing Sonic 4, which comes out long after the last attempt at Sonic 4. We're not even in 1998 in the release order for the earliest games in the timeline, in the chronology. But yeah. I don't know exactly when the next stream's gonna be. I cannot figure out a great day for these, but it's not gonna be Sunday, actually. Sorry about that, but it is Mother's Day, and I don't think I will have any viewers on Mother's Day. So yeah, I don't know. Keep in tune to me yelling into the ether. I will give an update on when Sonic 4 will be streamed. It will be soon. Until then, see ya.